And we're back with more Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle 3. And here we are taking on the middle stages of the treasury. This is one stage where you do have to circle into the exit, and all the keys are going to be on the way, so there's really no need to backtrack unless you missed anything. And the main gimmick here is that you're going to have to use lifts, and there's going to be two Daffies chasing you all the time. And there are doors that you can only get to from the lifts. You have to just wait for the lift to drop down, and these ones are going to be going up while the lifts on the other side will be coming down. So you do have to keep an eye on a lot of things, and there's a Yosemite Sam there just waiting for you. And it is important to just make sure you have an eye on everything, like where the lifts are, where Daffy is. Even though you really can make this thing a lot easier for yourself just by shooting him. Which I really should have done in this part, but no, what do you know, I didn't. But after you get past that first part, the rest of the stage is actually very easy, because all you have to do is just take the ladders and then pick your spots to drop down from. And it is simple enough. And just in case you did miss any keys, there's actually a pipe that takes you back to the beginning of the stage. So you have that going for you. And chances are the second Daffy's gonna fall from the lift, so he has to take the pipe to go back. So this stage is actually fairly simple. So on to the next one. And we are almost done with this game. I do want to get this one finished and hopefully get to recording Belmont's Revenge pretty soon. And yeah, I actually wanted to get started with Crazy Castle 4, but you know, it turned out I didn't release these fast enough, and now, well, life gets in the way sometimes. So what I'm doing here is just trying to go to the doors, and right here I either should have made a decision or go up or down, but instead I did not and just got myself killed. And this time I did decide to do something about it, and I decided to blow Daffy up. And what I'm doing here is I actually have to wait now because those bulldogs are going to take a while to get across. So what I'm doing is just waiting, and then right after you get past that part, the rest of the stage is actually fairly simple, since there are going to be breakable floors, there are going to be conveyor belts, and then you just have to make sure that you get everything before you go up to the pipes above. Because the rest of the keys are actually going to be in pipes. And I mean, really, you just have to use everything to your advantage. And really, the only thing that can trip you up is either if Yosemite Sam shoots you, or if a Daffy ends up catching you by surprise, which can happen. And right here, all I'm gonna do is just drop down and get some more stuff. You are gonna need to get the pickaxe here because, well, actually, I don't really know if you actually need the pickaxe, but it does make things a bit easier. And right there's the exit. I'm gonna leave that door on the right for last because that's where the last key is. And, what I'm doing here is with the speed booster, you can use it to get across these conveyor belts faster, of course. And also, I'm pretty sure I'm using this bomb on Yosemite Sam. Well, just so there's no nasty surprises waiting for me. And I think the only other enemy I have to worry about here is a bulldog. But yeah, that first part's really the only tough one. And after you get past that, it's actually smooth sailing. Just as long as you remember to cover all your areas and cover all your, like, where you've been. And yeah, this part is fairly short because I actually do a pretty good job of these stages compared to the last ones. And right here, what you want to do is just start moving immediately because there's going to be Daffies, and then I think there's a bulldog on this floor too. So you do have to worry about a lot right away. And also, if you're not careful, you can get shot by Yosemite Sam on the way up. Actually, I'm not even sure if he shoots in this one. Oh, and that's really, there are two ways to get up here. You can either take the up panel or take the pipe. I always find the up panel to be more useful because more often than not, whenever I took the pipe, there was always the bulldog waiting for me. But what you have to do here is take the pipe and then either use the up panels to get all the stuff, like this shield. I don't really think I needed it, but it just makes things easier. And also it just lets you go through everything a lot quicker. Now right here I end up using it. And let's see, I decided to go to the left because I just didn't want to get trapped. And that's the way you can actually get to the other side. There are two ways you can get there. Either do what I just did with using the chain, which requires really good timing, or you can use this pipe. But you do have to go there from the bottom, and chances are there's going to be enemies waiting for you from down there. And not really that fun of an option. Anyway, all you have to do here is just use the up panels, but I just screwed up there. You know, what are you gonna do? It happens. So what I need to do now is just use the rope or use the chains in order to get to a better position to use the up panel. And that's gonna be a lot tougher with Daffy's and Yosemite Sam. Alright, here I just might as well go out of my way to kill a Daffy. Because I can. And also I haven't been doing enough of that in this series. Well, the good news is they give you more than enough weapons and shields to work with, so... I mean, the way you're gonna end up getting killed is if you end up taking a pipe or dropping down and end up getting caught by surprise. And would you believe throughout this whole game I still haven't mastered the controls yet? But then again, that is kinda likely because compared to the second game, like, this is a terrible game to play after the second one because the controls are so much looser in this one compared to the second one, and that's both a good thing and a bad thing. I mean, it did take me a while to just get the timing down because with all the slowdown from the second one, the timing in the third one was just way too fast for me. I mean, if anybody out there has played baseball, it's like trying to hit a bunch of change-ups and then all of a sudden they throw a fastball high, and then you end up striking out that way. But anyway, in this stage, what you want to do here is use the pipe in order to... Or use the pipe, then go to the rope, or you go to the chain, and then take the pipe to get to this key. Because what's important in this stage is that you don't end up getting trapped early on, and then that's kind of the theme of these first three stages, that you can get trapped early on, and that's when you end up running into trouble. But after you get past this part, though, you're going to want to use the chain to go back. And right here, I'm just giving Daffy the slip with the doors. Fortunately, that bulldog went to the right place, so I can just pick up a bomb just in case I needed it. So what I'm going to do here is backtrack over to the left pipe and use the chain in order to get to stuff. The clocks in this section are going to be very useful because you can either put enemies in bad positions or you can just keep them from chasing you. And right here, you're going to have to go left and take the warp in order to get to all those goodies. Mainly that extra life. And right here, I'm either going to wait or I'm going to use a bomb. I find that using a bomb is a lot easier, but since I'm so used to the second one and the first one, like having to run around enemies as opposed to just taking them out, I guess it's been a little bit tougher for me. And, I mean, right here, you're gonna want to get to these doors first and then, or before you drop down, because if you do that, or if you drop down first, you could end up running into some trouble. But yeah, once you end up getting to this side, this stage is actually a lot easier compared to that left side. And I'm pretty sure up there is where the last key should be. So all we gotta do is just make it to the exit, and you do so by either taking the pipe or taking a warp. Actually, I am gonna have to take a warp, and I just realized that now. So all I have to do is just go to the left, and then take the opposite warp. And since I don't feel like letting Daffy kill me now, let's just finish this off. Or we'll just blow him up and then finish this off. And the exit's to the top left. Pretty simple. But yeah, these stages actually are kind of straightforward. The only problem with them is in case you end up getting killed early. And in stage 55, this is when they start kind of bringing back some of the confusing elements. And yeah, this is going to require a lot of alternate paths, as well as figuring out where to drop down and just trying to find the best route to stuff. And that really helps, being able to take out 2 enemies at once. And I'm pretty sure that was well, I don't think that was a glitch. I mean, that was just the way they programmed it, but whatever, it works for me. And let's see, what I need to do here is I need to drop down to the left. And that's the easy way to get to that key. You are going to need to use those up panels. And also, just in case you did miss anything, you can use those up panels to backtrack in case you need to. And right here, I'm just trying to look around to see where Yosemite Sam is. I mean, the only times I edited out the pausing is when I'm just looking around the stage. And if I'm trying to look for an enemy, then I just kept it on there. I mean, it's just as strategic purposes. The problem with, even though I found throughout this Let's Play that the problem with looking around throughout these stages is that you kind of tend to overload yourself and end up just confusing yourself even further. I mean, I know in the basement levels, that's where I ran into the most trouble. Also because I didn't know those stages as well, and those are actually intended to be the harder ones. And see, right here I have to make a decision as to who I'm going to take out with a weight. Either Daffy or Yosemite Sam. It turns out, yeah, I'll just end up taking out Yosemite Sam. He's easier to take out. Because the thing is that even though Daffy is, a lot easier, well, he's not as predictable in this game compared to the other ones. And you'll see in Crazy Castle 4 that there are just all sorts of different enemies, and I mean, just whenever I get to that. I mean, I'm still not looking forward to it because I'm going to need a lot of stuff to talk about, and yeah, that game kind of does drag on, but you know, I'll talk about those things when I'm playing Crazy Castle 4. And right here you can use the 2 clocks in order to freeze all the enemies. And all I gotta do now is just take this path to the exit. So with that, I will see you in the final part.